Okay, guys. So it's about the Act 5, the last act of this play of Merchant of Venice, and in scene 1, Lorenzo and Jessica enters. Lorenzo says, "The moon shines bright in such a night as this, when the sweet wind did gently kiss the trees, and they did make no noise. In such a night, Troilus met things, mounted the Trojan walls, and sighed his soul toward the Grecian tents where Cressid lay that night." So as they enter the scene, Lorenzo and Jessica, Lorenzo says how beautiful this night is. Look at the night, look at the moon, it's so bright. And then he starts comparing this night with the night when Troilus was the son of the king of Troy. It was a state or a country kind of thing. It was a state kind of thing, and its king was Priam. Priam was the king, and king's son was Troilus. So Troilus used to love Cressida. Who used to love Cressida? Troilus. Now Troilus climbed up the walls of Troy, where the tents were. Now what happened? If you see, Troilus was the son of King Priam of Troy. His lover Cressida was sent to Greek camp, where she betrayed him. So first she used to love him, but then when she was sent to Troy, for some reason she was sent to Troy, then she betrayed him. So now why do you think Lorenzo is taking up that example and talking to his wife Jessica, or maybe lover Jessica? Why do you think that was the why? Because he is trying to compare that night, in such night, how Troilus was betrayed and he climbed up the walls. It is the similar night, and he is trying to compare that. Okay, fine, you don't try to betray me like that. So that is the reason why he got that comparison. Clear? Clear? Do you have any doubt? Okay. Next, Jessica. So Jessica, obviously, when Lorenzo is telling her something, she will also not keep quiet. So now he has put a point that don't be like Cressida, where you may betray me. The similar way, now Jessica will also give him few example and few comparison. Okay? Jessica says, "Did Thisbe fearfully overtrip the dew and saw the lion's shadow, airy himself, and ran dismayed away." So Thisbe is who? Thisbe had agreed to meet her lover Primus, but was frightened away by a lion. Primus killed himself because he thought the lion had eaten her, and Thisbe killed herself when she found Primus dead. So this particular comparison is done by Jessica to show her love towards who? For Lorenzo. Because I love you so much, you are telling me, what if I may betray you? But what if I tell you this is the kind of night, and she draws the comparison that it is like how Thisbe had agreed to meet her lover. So Thisbe was the lady who wanted to meet Pyramus. She was supposed to meet Pyramus, and when she saw a lion, but was frightened away by a lion. Yeah, when she saw a lion, she was frightened, so she went away. Then what happened? Then Pyramus killed himself because he thought, so when she ran away, Pyramus thought, oh, maybe the lion had eaten my lover. Who was his lover? Thisbe. Maybe the lion had eaten her. So what is the necessity of my life? He killed himself. Now what happened? He is no more, but Thisbe is alive. After the lion went, she ran away, right? Now the lion went, and she came back. She found that Pyramus is dead. Think about the kind of connection, the kind of love they had. Now, what is the point of me being alive? He killed himself because of her. Now she finding that he is no more, she killed herself. So that is the kind of love which I have. I means who? I have for you. And you are comparing me with the other person who actually betrayed. Understood? So that was tit for tat they are doing. Clear? Okay. Next, Lorenzo. In such a night stood Dido with a willow in her hand upon the wild sea banks and wafted her love to come again to Carthage. So that means Dido was the queen of Carthage, was abandoned by her lover Aeneas. So Dido was abandoned by her lover Aeneas. On a night like this, Dido stood holding a willow branch on the seashore, begging her lover to come back to her Carthage. So Dido, the queen of Carthage, she used to love Aeneas so much, but Aeneas left her, abandoned her. So she was at this kind of night. This is the night where she was actually begging him to come back, but he did not come back, or whatever happened, that's a different story. So Lorenzo give another example and try to draw another comparison. Understood? Now Jessica once again says, in such a night Medea gathered the enchanted herbs that did renew old Aeson. Understood? So Medea used her magic to help her lover Jason's father. Later Jason betrayed her. So now she is saying, what if I can also tell you, I can also draw comparison, tell you how many times girls have been betrayed. There are n number of times when girls were betrayed. You are giving me examples where guys are betrayed. I will give you examples where girls are also being betrayed. So Medea used her magic powers. So Medea was, she had magical powers which she used to heal Jason. Jason was the person whom she used to love, and for his father she used those magical power and healed him. Later on, Jason betrayed her and she murdered their children in revenge. So Jason betrayed her and Jason's father. Later, Jason betrayed her and she murdered their children in revenge. So when Jason betrayed her, they had children. Jason and Medea, they had children. So to take revenge, to avenge on Jason, she killed her own children. Clear? So she once again gives that kind of comparison that it is not yet done, I guess. Yeah. Lorenzo once again says to Jessica, he tells, in such a night did Jessica steal from the wealthy Jew, and with an unthrift love did run from Venice as far as Belmont. So now he says, he talks about Jessica herself, and he is saying that on this kind of night only, Jessica stole all the jewels and money from her father and ran away with Lorenzo, a spendthrift guy, and she came from Venice to Belmont. Clear? So on this was the kind of night when Jessica also stole all her father's money. Who was her father? Shiloh. His money, and then because of her love, she came to Belmont from Venice. Now to reply him, Jessica says, on a night like this, young Lorenzo swore he loved her very much. Jessica says, in such a night did young Lorenzo swear he loved her well, stealing her soul with many vows of faith, and near a true one. So that means on a night like this, Lorenzo promised her that, or showed her how much I love you. He showed his love to her. But in reality, there is no love. That is what she is saying. this. Okay, she is simply trying to pull Lorenzo's leg as he was trying to pull her leg. Clear? Lorenzo once again says, in such a night did pretty Jessica, like a little shrew, slander her love, and he forgave it her. So on a night like this, pretty Jessica in a bad mood said outrageously wrong things about her lover, and he forgave her. So a night like this, he's simply saying now, a night like this, when Jessica is talking rubbish about her own lover, but Lorenzo putting himself high, that yeah, but still I am somehow forgiving you because you are talking rubbish, it's okay with me. I am forgiving you. Clear? Then Jessica says, I would outnight you. Did nobody come? But hark, I hear the footing of a man. So I would get the better of you in this storytelling game. So if I have to really compete with you in a storytelling game, I am sure I will win with you. You cannot compete with me. I am better than you. But now I can hear someone is coming. I can hear someone's footstep. Clear? Now here entered Stefano, a messenger. Stefano, a messenger. So, and he comes and tells Lorenzo, who comes so fast in the silence of the night. So Lorenzo asks, who is that person who is coming so fast in this kind of silent night? Who was that person? Stefano. He was who? You are a messenger, right? Stefano, he replies, a friend. I am a friend. Lorenzo, a friend. What friend? Your name? I pray you, friend. So friend, oh, is it? What friend? What kind of a friend are you? What's your name? So Stefano says, Stefano is my name, and I bring word. My mistress will, before the break of day, be here at Belmont. She doth stray about by holy crosses, where she kneels and prays for happy wedlock hours. Whom is he talking about? He is talking about Portia. Now we have to remember that before going to Venice, Portia along with Nerissa gave an impression to Lorenzo and Jessica and others that where they are going to the monastery to pray for the welfare of their husbands. But eventually, where did they go? Venice. To see, first of all, to supervise what Bassanio is doing, on top of that, to save Antonio. Right? And now, the messenger comes and tells, they are coming, they have prayed to the God for the welfare of for the welfare of her husband. Whose husband? Portia's husband. Who is her husband? Bassanio. So now she is on the way. She is going to come. Clear? Okay. Lorenzo, who comes with her? Lorenzo asks, who is coming with her? Is she coming alone? None but the holy hermit, her maid. I pray you, is my master yet returned? So Stefano asks, Stefano gives an information. No one but her maid, means who? Nerissa, very good. No one but her maid, Nerissa. So she went along with Nerissa. Close that window. Close the door. She says, so when Lorenzo asks him, who is coming along with her? With whom? With Portia. And he says, no one but her maid, who is very good. Her trustworthy maid, Nerissa. Both of them are coming back. Then he asks Lorenzo that, do you have any news for my master? Who is his master? Lorenzo says, he is not, nor we have not heard from him. But we go in, I pray thee, Jessica, and ceremoniously let us prepare some welcome for the mistress of the house. So he says, no, he hasn't, no, Bassanio hasn't come, neither we have heard anything of him. Means, neither we have heard that he is coming back. But let me go and prepare something, prepare ourselves to welcome the owner of the house. Who is the owner of the, not house, mansion? Owner of the mansion who? Portia. So that we can welcome them. Now enter Lancelot the clown. Clear?
Yes.
Lancelot is a clown. So you will find a lot of humor now. Lancelot, sola sola, oh ah oh, sola sola. So Lancelot comes and he keeps on shouting. Means hey 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 hey, you ho ho, something like that. He's happy. Lorenzo asks, who is shouting? Who is that? Who is making unnecessary sounds? When Lorenzo asks, Lancelot gives him the answer. Sola, did you see Master Lorenzo? Master Lorenzo, sola sola means, did you see Master Lorenzo? Hey hey, did you see Master Lorenzo? Now he is asking Lorenzo, did you see Lorenzo? Did you understand what kind of humor is it? Because Lancelot is a clown figure, so he will have to. Shakespeare has put this characters to put little humor in this overall play, so that it doesn't become so deep or so serious. Clear, guys? Do you have any question? Okay. So Lorenzo says, leave hollowing means don't shout, you are simply shouting, you are making sound for no reason. Here, I am here. You are asking Lorenzo, where is Lorenzo? I am here, I am here. Lancelot said, where are you? Lorenzo, here, I am here, standing right before you. Lancelot said, tell him, there is a post come from my master with his horn full of good news. My master will be here ere morning. Means, tell him, who is saying? Lancelot is telling Lorenzo to tell Lorenzo that my master is coming. Who is his master now? Because Lancelot left Shylock and now he is working with Bassanio. So he says, tell Lorenzo, standing in front of Lorenzo, he says, tell Lorenzo that my master is coming. And there is good news, my master is coming this morning. And he exits the scene. Lorenzo, sweet soul, let's in. And there's expect they are coming, and you no matter, and yet no matter, why should we go in? My friend Stefano, signify, I pray you, within the house your mistress is at hand, and bring your music forth into the air. So he says, my dear, let's go inside and wait for them to arrive. First he says that, let's go and wait for them inside the mansion. Then as he thinks, he says, but why, it doesn't matter, why should we go in? Why should we do things? Because there are other maids, there are other attendants who are supposed to do things. So I will rather tell them to do things. Clear? So he tells Stefano, tell the housemaids, tell the attendants to welcome, to prepare something to welcome the mistress. Who is coming first? Portia. Portia is coming along with Nerissa. So he says, or he orders, or he tells Stefano to tell the attendants that they are coming. Well, we have to welcome them. Prepare yourself or do something. And bring some musician outside here. So music, you have to call some musicians to play some music so that you can, you have you seen when the the bridegroom comes or when there is any function, they play music. So when they are coming, it is kind of that kind of ceremony they want to do, and they are making or they are asking the musicians to play some music. Clear? Now, from the scene, Stefano exits. Lorenzo says, "How sweet the moonlight sleeps upon the bank. Here will we see, where will we sit and let the sounds of music creep in our ears. Soft stillness and the night become the touches of sweet harmony. Said Jessica, look how the floor of heaven is thick, inlaid with patterns of bright gold. There is not the smallest orb which thou beholdest, but in the motion like an angel sings, still squaring to the young-eyed cherubims. Such harmony is in immortal souls, but whilst this muddy vesture of decay doth grossly close in it, we cannot hear it." So he says, he calls Jessica, "Jessica, come here, sit next to me and see how beautiful the moon is looking and how beautiful the river bank is looking because of the light of the moon." So here once again he tries to bring in some romance. Understood? Because he has his lady love sitting or standing next to him. He says, "Come, sit next to me and let us enjoy this beauty of the nature and try and listen to the music." So the night is completely without any sound, and stillness and night time. Okay, how beautiful the moonlight shining on the bank. Let's sit here and let the music fill our ears. Stillness and night time are perfect for beautiful music. So music is actually, according to Lorenzo, it is the music is can be experienced or can be enjoyed to the most when there is no sound and it's a beautiful night. That is what he means. Let us sit down, let us enjoy the music, because the music is about to start. To welcome whom? Portia and Nerissa. "Jessica, look at the stars. See how the floor of the heaven is inlaid with small discs of bright gold. Stars and planets move in such perfect harmony that some believe you can hear music in their movement." So the night is so beautiful and it is so soundless that you can see the stars and the planets move in such a harmony that you can try and figure out there is a music playing the way they are moving. There is a rhythm. So that is the reason. Look, sit here, enjoy. If you believe this, even the smallest star sings like an angel in its motion. So if you believe what I am saying, then you will see even the smallest star is, you will find the smallest star also is trying to make some kind of music and you can enjoy it. Clear? Then he says, souls have that same kind of harmony, but because we are here on earth, in our earthly bodies, we can't hear it. So that means souls who are not alive, they can, or spirits, they can hear the music which I am referring to. But since we are human beings in this earthly bodies, means in the human bodies, we may not be able to listen to this music. But this music is without any sound. Just enjoy the beauty of the nature and the stillness of the night without any sound and try to enjoy it. That's what he says to Jessica. Now musicians, they enter. Musicians enter and come home and wake Diana with hymn. With sweetest touches, pierce your mistress's ear and draw her home with music. So he says, once again Lorenzo says that to the musicians, that wake up the moon goddess with a hymn, with a soft music, wake the moon and get her attention and draw her home with the music. So, whom he's talking about? He's talking about get Portia's attention and try to get her at home. And that is how you have to welcome Portia. Clear? Do you guys have any question? Next, the music starts playing. Jessica says, I am never merry when I hear sweet music. Now Jessica says, as Lorenzo being romantic tries to tell Jessica to find the beauty of the nature and feel the music, Jessica says, I am never merry when I hear sweet music. So I am never in mood to laugh when I hear sweet music, or I'm never in mood to like sweet music. I don't know why. Lorenzo says, the reason is your spirits are attentive, for do but note a wild and wanton herd or race of youthful and unhandled clods, fetching mad bounds, bellowing and neighing loud, which is the hot condition of their blood. If they but hear, perchance, a trumpet sound, or any air of music touch their ears, you shall perceive them make a mutual stand. Their savage eyes turn to a modest gaze by the sweet power of music. That means, when Jessica says that, Lorenzo tells her, that's because your soul is paying attention to the music. That's because the music is playing. That's why you are paying attention to the music. Take a wild, he gives some kind of example. Take a wild herd of animals or young untrained colts. Colts are which are colts? Horses, calves, right? Calves, yes. Horse babies, colts. They are untrained. So think about them. They are leaping. They are jumping like crazy. They don't actually, until unless you train colts, you cannot ride them. Do you know that? Colts, they have to be trained. Then only you can ride them. So they are crazy. They jump like crazy because their blood is like that. They are not yet trained. Roaring and neighing loudly. Horse neigh, right? So they roar and neigh loudly, which they have to do because it is in their blood. So which they have to do because they are animals, and that's how they are supposed to behave. So if they roar, if the animals roar, they are animals, that's why they roar. If the horse neigh, they are horse, that's the reason they neigh. They make neighing sound, which they have to do because it's in their blood. But if they happen to hear a trumpet or any kind of music, they all stand still. Sweet music makes their wild eyes peaceful. Wild eyes peaceful. That's why the poet Ovid, okay, so he says, so how if the horses or the animals, they hear the music, they stop doing crazy thing. They kind of calms down and it gives a peaceful atmosphere, or it makes them peaceful when the horse or any animal listen to music. So like that example is given by whom? Who? Lorenzo. So you are just paying attention to the music, just try and understand, you will also be calm and you will also enjoy it. That's what he wanted to say. And he said, therefore the poet did feign that Orpheus drew trees, stones and floods, since not so stockish, hard and full of rage, but music for the time doth change his nature. The man that hath no music in himself, nor is not moved with concord of sweet sounds, is fit for treasons, stratagems, and spoils the motion of his spirits, are dull as night, and his affections dark as Erebus. Let us let no such man be trusted. Mark the music. So he gives another example of poet Ovid. Ovid wrote that the great musician Orpheus could make trees, stones, and rivers come to him by playing music. So he could just play music. Have you heard about Tansen?
Yes.
We all know about Tansen, right? So what Tansen was capable of? Tansen could, no? Tansen could make the rain start. He could and he could light the diya by his songs. That was Rag Megha for, Rag Megha was for to bring the rain, and that was Rag Deepak to light the diya. So he was able to do it. So similar way, he is saying there was someone else. What's his name? Orpheus. He could make the stones, the trees, the rivers come to him by the power of his music. Understood? There is nothing in the world that can resist music. So there is nothing. Why he is giving so many examples? Because he is trying to say, Jessica, you will have to concentrate and you will have to understand the power of music. Nobody can deny the music. There is nobody who can resist music. The man who can't be moved by the harmonious melodies is fit only for treason, violence, and pillage. His soul is as dull as night and dark as the underworld. Nobody like that should be trusted. Pay attention to the music. So he says, a person who doesn't like music, he is like a dark person. He is not a good person, and that kind of person cannot be trusted by anyone. So Jessica, pay attention to the music. See, you will also start enjoying the music, like how I am enjoying it. And Portia and Nerissa entered the scene. So Portia and Nerissa entered the scene. As Portia enters the scene, she says, that light we see in burning in my hall, how far that little candle throws his beams, so shines a good deed in a naughty world. So she says, that light we see coming from my hall, coming from my mansion, look how far the little candle spreads the light. Like how beautiful the good deeds means good work, is in the naughty world, means in this bad world. If you do good deeds, good work, your good deeds will also shine like the candle. How the candle throws the light, the similar way your good deeds also will be shining, because the world is very bad and we hardly find someone who actually wants to do good. So if we do good, or if anyone does good, that goodness in their work shines. Where? Nerissa says, when the moon shone, we did not see the candle. So Nerissa, once again, Nerissa is not exactly against her, but she is telling a different story. She is saying, Portia is saying, see, good deeds, everybody, it outshines everything. Nerissa is saying, when the moon was like shining, we didn't even notice the candle. Did we? We did not. Portia says, so doth the greater glory deem the less. A substitute shines brightly as a king, until a king be by, and then his state empires itself, as doth an inland brook into the main of waters. Music heard. So Portia says, well, brighter lights always dim the smaller ones. So if do you see moon in daylight? Why? Sun is brighter than moon, isn't it? So when there is brighter light, we cannot see the lighter one. Understood? So we cannot see the smaller one. But if a candle is kept in a room, and if I turn on the tube Would you be able to see the would you be able to see the candle so as much as you can see the light?
No.
You can't, because the candle will become dimmer because it's small. The similar way, brighter things overtakes the smaller lights. A governor shines as brightly as a king until a king comes. So, if the king is not there, who takes care of the entire state? Governor. Governor is regarded as the king. Then she gives the example of a king and a governor. Now, the governor is the man according to whom everything is supposed to happen. Till when?
The king arrives.
Till the king arrives. Once the king arrives, nobody will care for the governor. So that is the kind of example which Portia gives. And then as she talks, the music plays. Nerissa says, "It is your music, madam, of the house." So Nerissa tells her, "Oh, madam, it is the music of your house. Music coming from your house." Where is it coming from? From your house, from the mansion. Portia, "Nothing is good, I see without respect. Methinks it sounds much sweeter than by day." Okay, so she says, "Now I see that you can't call anything good except in right context. I think that music sounds much better at night than it does during the day." So she says, Portia says, the music is sweeter, the music is better when you are hearing it or when you are listening to the music during the night rather than listening to it during the day. Nerissa says, "Silence bestows that virtue on it, madam." So Nerissa says the night silence makes it sounds better. So it makes it sound better. So that means Nerissa says it's not the music which is better, it's the night. The night is what? Comparatively, night is not that it is not something which is too much of sound. We don't get too much of sound during the night because everybody is asleep. So when we play music, we can hear it or we can listen to it properly. And it is because of the night the music sounds better, not because of the music is better. Are you able to understand? She says, not because the music is better, it sounds better at night. Because the night is better, because the night gives us that stillness, that calmness. That's when the music is played, it sounds better. Who says that? Nerissa. Then Portia says, "The crow doth sing as sweetly as lark." Lark is what? Lark is a small bird, singing bird. So the crow sings as well as the lark when no one's listening. If the nightingale sang during the day, when if the nightingale, okay. So here Portia says the crow doth sing as sweetly as the lark. If the crow sings as sweetly as the lark, when neither is attended, and I think the nightingale, if she should sing by day when every goose is clacking, would be thought no better a musician than the wren. That means when the crow is singing like a lark is a small bird, so nobody would listen to it. And if the nightingale is singing, when there are ducks, ducks, what do the ducks do? The goose make what kind of sound? What is it? Huh? Yes. So that is called what sound? Duck sound. So that is called clacking of the duck, goose, right? So when they make that sound, if a nightingale is singing, do you think anybody would be able to listen to that beautiful song of the nightingale? Why?
Because of the goose.
Because of the disturbance by the clacking of the goose. How many things in life seem good to to us because of when they happen. So it is not because they are good always. It is because it depends on the timing also, what time it's happening. And it looks good because of the timing. Excuse me. Because of the timing is good, it gives a beautiful experience to us. Not because it is always good. It depends on the time also. Peace, how the moon sleeps with Endymion and would not be awaked. So that means, look, she says, look how the moon is sleeping with its lover and can't be awakened. So the moon is sleeping with its lover and she doesn't want to, or he doesn't want to get up. Then the music stops, the music ceases. Lorenzo, or I am much deceived of Portia. Lorenzo says that's the voice, or I am much deceived of Portia. So Lorenzo hears Portia's voice and he says, is it Portia, or I am just hearing her voice? Portia says, he knows me as the blind man knows the cuckoo by the bad voice. So Portia here becomes a little tricky and she says, he recognizes me like a blind man recognizes a cuckoo's voice, which is very bad. According to her, her voice is bad, so she is just simply saying, because she is downplaying. Do you know what is downplaying? She is like I am not a cuckoo. Cuckoo sings well, right? So I am not a cuckoo. Maybe the cuckoo's bad voice is like what he can recognize. Like a blind man can recognize cuckoo's voice, so he can recognize my voice. And I am not. My voice is not that sweet. Understood? Lorenzo says, dear lady, welcome home. So Lorenzo welcomes her at home in the mansion. Portia says, we have been praying for our husband's welfare. With speed we hope, the better for our words. Are they returned? So as she comes inside the house, inside the mansion, she tells Lorenzo that you know that we have been praying for our beloved husbands. Why husbands? Why it's husbands? Why not husband? Correct. Who all? Portia and Nerissa, right? So according to Lorenzo and Jessica and the other people in Belmont, whoever were there in Belmont, according to them, where did Portia and Nerissa went? Where did they go? Monastery. For what reason?
Praying for
To pray for the welfare of their husbands. Now they are once again continuing the same story. Is it right or wrong? I mean, is it true or false? Did they go to monastery? So she says, we have been praying for our husbands' welfare. We hope that they are better off because of our prayers. We have prayed so much. We hope that our husbands are doing well because we have prayed. Have they come back? And then she asks Lorenzo, have they come back yet? Lorenzo says, madam, they are not yet. But there is come a messenger before to signify their coming. So they haven't come yet, but there was a messenger who came and who imitated us, or intimated us that they will be coming soon. Clear? Portia says, go in, Nerissa, give order to my servants that they take no note at all of our being absent hence. Nor you, Lorenzo, Jessica, nor you. Nor you, Lorenzo, nor you, Jessica. Jessica, nor you. A tucket sounds. Okay. Now, as Portia gets to know that Bassanio and others are coming. Bassanio and who else will be coming along with Bassanio? Gratiano. Very good. Gratiano is husband of whom? Nerissa. Not Jessica, right? So husband of Nerissa. So as they understand that both of the husbands are on their way, Portia commands the servants to not to tell anyone or not to even talk about they being to the monastery. Clear? So according to Portia, what kind of impression does she want to give when their husbands come? Anybody who can give me the answer? Correct. We were here. We were only thinking of you, and you have come. Right. Kichhui jano. Right. Now, Bassanio and Gratian, do they know that these two people went to Venice and because of them their friend Antonio was saved? They don't know, right? Fine. So Portia tells Lorenzo as well as Nerissa not to utter a single word about their going to the monastery. Clear? And then the sound of a trumpet comes. Lorenzo, your husband is at hand. I hear his trumpet. We are no tales, madam. Fear you not. That means Lorenzo says when Portia asks him not to mention anything about they going out, that means you please don't tell them, don't mention anything that we went to the monastery or anywhere. Give them an impression that we were here. Lorenzo says, you don't worry, madam. You don't think that we are someone who will spill your beans. Spill your bean means we will tell your secrets. We will not tell or share your secrets with anyone. So you don't have to worry. I can hear your husband is coming. That is the reason why trumpets are playing. Portia, this night, methinks is but the daylight sick. It looks a little paler. 'Tis a day such as the day is when the sun is hid. So Portia says, I think this night is just like sick daylight. It only looks a little paler. It looks like a day when the sun is hidden. So she is comparing once again the night with a daylight or a day where the sun is kind of, the clouds are there and the sun is not to be seen, but it is a day. And how the light will be when it's a gloomy day? The light will not be that bright. So she is saying rather than a night, it is kind of a day. And it is like when the sun is hidden. That means when the clouds are in front of the sun, we cannot see the sun. So the sunlight can't be that strong, and that is the kind of day, night it is. That is the kind of day it looks though it is a night. Clear? Okay. As she talks, Bassanio, Antonio, Gratiano, and their followers gets in. Gratiano and Nerissa move aside and talk. Okay. So what happens as they come? They find Portia and Nerissa. Who all? Bassanio, Antonio, and Gratiano. Okay. Now what happens? Now as soon as Gratiano sees his wife Nerissa, he takes her to a side to talk to her. After so many days they have met, he wants to talk to her and he takes her. Now who is left? Portia. Who else is left? Bassanio and Antonio. Clear? Okay. Now, Bassanio, as soon as he sees Portia, of course he is delighted to see his wife after such a long time. Such a long time is, of course, 1 to 3 days is still long time. Okay. So Bassanio to Portia, we should whole day with the antipodes if you would walk in absence of the sun. So Bassanio being Bassanio, he is like a person who will talk very nice words which will flatter Portia, and he started. If you walked outside at night, it would be daylight. Here at the same time as on the other side of the world. So he gives a very nice cheesy line that if you walk this part of the world where it's night right now, it will enlighten and it will be like a day. So what will happen to the other part of the world? Other part it's already day, and because you are here, this part is also becoming day. So you are so bright, you are so beautiful that you are making this night look like a day. So that was a compliment, if you know, and that is how he talks. So Portia says, "Let me give light, but let me not be light. For a light wife doth make a heavy husband, and never be Bassanio so for me. But God sort all. You are welcome home, my lord." So she says, this light you will have to understand. So I will give light to men, but I will never be light or unchaste. So that means I'll give light to men, but I'll never be light. Light means what? Not that heavy. Light, or I am not in kind of loose kind of thing. Like it is like I don't have loose morals. I will show light to men. I will show hope to men, but don't take me as I am a lady of loose morals. Understood? I am a lady of loose morals. So try and understand the difference between the two lights. You will have to be very careful. Okay. So I am not a lady with loose morals. I will give light to the men. Means I will give hope to the men, but I am not some lady who has loose morals. Clear? This part is understood? An unfaithful wife makes a husband worry, and I'll never let Bassanio worry if I can help it. I hope God figures it all out. Welcome home, my husband. So she says that I'm not an unfaithful wife, that my husband will have to worry about me. I am someone who is faithful, who doesn't have any loose moral, but still I will give hope to others. And after saying that, she says, welcome home, my lord, welcome home, my husband. Clear? Bassanio, I thank you, madam. Give welcome to my friend. This is the man. This is Antonio, to whom I am so infinitely bound. Means, here is, thank you, Portia. Here is Antonio. He then introduces Antonio. Here is the man, my best friend Antonio, and I am forever, I am bound to him. Forever I am in debt with him. Because whatever Antonio did for Bassanio, because of Antonio, Bassanio could marry Portia. We all know that. We all know, right? If Antonio could not be, who could sign the contract? That play only could not happen if Antonio could not be there. So then he says, thank you, Portia, thank you. And here is Antonio, my dearest friend. We are closely tied. Means we are very close. Clear? Now Antonio says, no more than I am well acquitted of. So you should be tied to him, since he tied himself up so much for you. Oh, now I'm sorry. Here Portia says, you should in all sense be much bound to him, for as I hear, he was much bound for you. So Portia says that you have to be tied to him. Why you have to be tied to him? Why do you think Bassanio has to be bound to him? Do you understand what is the meaning of bound? Grateful. You will have to be close to him. You will have to be his best friend for the rest of your life. Why? Because of him, you are here. Because of him, we are here. And you are supposed to be bound to him. Clear? So Portia was already giving the correct answer. She knew that because of Antonio only, but she got Bassanio. Otherwise, Bassanio wouldn't have come for the casket test. Right? So Antonio says, no more than I am well acquainted of. So he says, but I have been paid back well. Means, I have been paid back well means, he has already taken care. He has already taken care of everything, because he doesn't know Portia went as Balthazar to save him. So he thinks I am saved and that is what I have got. I am paid back well. I don't have to. I am satisfied. Who says this? To whom? Correct. Portia, sir, you are very welcome to our house. It must appear in other ways than words. Therefore, I stamp this breathing courtesy. So Portia says, Lord Antonio, you are welcome in our house. Our house means whose house? Portia's and Bassanio's. Now, Bassanio also is the owner of the house because she is the better half of Bassanio. She is the wife. So, what she owns, equally owned by Bassanio. So, she says, welcome to our house. But I would not say you welcome. If I say you welcome by my words, you might think it's not welcome. You should get that feeling. My actions will tell whether you are welcome or not. Understood?
Yes.
Okay.